So first incision is the internal bevel incision. It is also known as the first or the initial incision or the reverse bevel incision. So these incisions are given only in certain cases. In all patients, you do not start your flap surgery by giving your internal bevel incision, even though it is called as the first or initial incision. If you are planning to do a flap surgery for your patient, before that, what we need to do is a thorough scaling for the patient. After you have done the thorough scaling, I'm sure after that is the next appointment is when you will be allotting or giving the patient appointment for your flap surgery. So on the day of flap surgery, if you find that in spite of doing your thorough scaling, the patient is having a slight amount of marginal tissue inflammation, meaning very mild inflammation of the marginal gingiva, then what you can do is you cannot open up the flap with that inflammation and then suture it back in position. There are two reasons for this. One is that inflamed gingival margin will be very soft and edematous. So when you're trying to give incision with your sharp blade, it can actually cause tears or cuts on your gingival flap. So that should not happen. That is one reason why we should eliminate that inflamed gingival marginal tissue. It is also called as an inflamed pocket lining. Second one is if the flap is sutured with that inflamed margin, the flap will be a rolled margin that is adapted over the bone. So that rolled margin is not very tightly in contact in the buccal and lingual aspect. So in such cases, easily during the healing phase, plaque bacteria can seep into the deeper tissues and cause a recurrence of pocket. So the entire reason for doing flap surgery will be lost. So that is why in case you find there is a slight marginal tissue inflammation, what you can do is you give an internal bevel incision as shown here. So what we do is hold the blade slightly angulated, in the sense it should not be vertically given straight as your tooth. Then what will happen is the blade will come out through the other side of the gingiva. Slightly tilt your blade and start giving the incision 0.5 to 1 mm away from the gingival margin, and keep going in a mesiodistal direction as how the now I showed the movement. You can see here that is how your blade should move in a mesiodistal direction, and each time your blade is moving in a mesiodistal direction, make sure it is hitting the bone. So when you are giving the incision, you will feel that through the gingiva your blade is going and hitting the bone. So you keep moving like that in the mesiodistal direction, and then you will achieve something called as internal bevel incision, which helps to remove this inflamed bit of 0.5 mm or 1 mm of inflamed pocket lining. So the three objectives of internal bevel incision is to remove any inflamed pocket lining, and it helps to conserve the uninvolved surface of gingiva. So it is not touching the attached gingiva, just the inflamed lining it removes. And like I said, instead of a rolled out margin, it helps to produce a sharp, thin marginal gingiva for better adaptation over the bone. Second is coming to crevicular incision. This is, even though this is called as the second incision, this is usually the first incision in most of the cases of flap surgery if your patient does not have inflammation at the time of surgery. So crevicular incision is the first incision that you will give if there is no inflamed pocket lining or marginal tissue. So how do we do this crevicular incision? For crevicular incision, as shown by the arrow, you insert, again here you don't go straight along the long axis of the tooth, don't insert your blade, then it will come out through the gingiva on the other side. You have to tilt the blade a little, slant it little, go into the pocket, into the sulcus, go deeper and deeper till you hit the bone. Till you hit the bone crest, you tilt the blade and go into the sulcus until you go beyond the base of the pocket, keep going, hit the bone. Once you hit the bone, continue giving that incision mesiodistally. This is called as a crevicular or sulcular incision, wherein the blade is moving in a mesiodistal direction, but at the same time it is hitting the crest of the bone through the base of the pocket. So if you give this incision, it helps to raise the flap on the buccal and palatal aspect. Third is your interdental incision, which is called as the third incision. Here, this is very important because in a conventional flap surgical procedure, if you just give a crevicular incision, your flap will not open. It is stuck in the interdental area. So in the interdental area, if you do not give the interdental incision, you cannot open up your flap. So that is why interdental incision is very important. So how do we give the interdental incision? The same crevicular incision continues towards the interdental region, and like shown here, when you reach the center of the papilla, cut there, turn your blade to continue towards the adjacent tooth as your next crevicular incision. So this incision is given in the interdental area to free the interdental gingival attachment. Usually we say theoretically that we need to use an Orban's interdental knife. However, in your clinical practice, you can just continue with your blade because it gives a fine, nice incision, and it will help to split the papilla into a buccal half and a lingual or a palatal half. So when you split it at the tip like that, when you are suturing back interdentally, it will join back and epithelium will grow and connect both the buccal and lingual or palatal tissues together.